The Swallows Go on Holiday by Mudit Mohini. As the days get shorter and leaves begin to fall, some birds prepare to fly away to warmer countries until the winters are over. "Hurry up," Mr. Swallow told his family. "It's time for our winter holiday." The swallows said goodbye to the robin family. "You're off to Egypt for the winters as usual?" asked Mrs. Robin. "Yes," said Mr. Swallow, quickly gathering his wife and kids. All the animals in the garden waved goodbye to the swallow family as they flew off on their journey to Egypt. Soon they met other swallow families flying to Egypt for winter holidays. Together they flew over land and sea to reach the warm, sunny skies. The journey was very long, so the swallows stopped to rest on the deck of a ship at sea. Suddenly, a sailor tried to catch them with a net, but they managed to escape just in time. "That was a lucky escape," gasped Mrs. Swallow. The children were very tired by the time they reached Egypt. Mr. and Mrs. Swallow had been to Egypt many times before, but this was the first time the little ones had visited such a warm country. "The first thing you children need is a good sleep," said Mrs. Swallow, tucking the little ones in as she sat on a branch, chatting with her husband. "Look," exclaimed the man to his daughter, observing their garden. "Our friends the swallows have returned. A new season has begun." Swallow family had a lovely time flying about in the warm Egyptian sunshine. The children enjoyed playing in the sand. Mrs. Swallow taught them how to flutter their wings and wash themselves clean in the shallow water by the river. They had great fun chasing crabs, which would skitter away and hide under the rocks. One day, Mrs. Swallow said to her husband, "I think it's time to go home to our own garden." The children were much stronger now and could fly all the way home without resting on a ship. And so they flew back. "We're back," said Mrs. Swallow as she landed on a branch beside Mrs. Robin's nest. All the animals gathered around to hear the story of their holidays. "We can't afford a nice winter holiday like the swallows," said Mr. Wren, huddling close to Mrs. Wren. "Never mind, my dear," she comforted him. "As long as we get plenty to eat, I can manage without a holiday in the sunshine." "We'll have plenty to eat if that greedy old finch doesn't gobble up all the crumbs before we get a bite," said Mr. Wren. "I heard you say that," piped up Mr. Finch, sitting nearby. "I'm just as much in need of food as you are. In fact, I need 3 times as much because I'm 3 times as big." "Now, my dear," said Mr. Wren, "our friend Mr. Finch has a point." "Well, it's his own fault," snapped Mrs. Wren. "Perhaps if he didn't eat so much, he wouldn't have grown so big." And so the birds continued to argue until Old Ben the gardener came, carrying some strange-looking objects on his shoulder. He dug some holes in the ground, and into each hole he placed a pole with a little box and a tiny roof on top. The birds watched him closely. Mr. Wren jumped up and down on his branch with excitement. "I think," he said, "they're called bird boxes. People put food in them for birds like us, so we won't be hungry during the winter. Those tiny roofs keep the rain and the snow off us too." One bird box had a little hole in the bottom, allowing the smaller birds, like wren, to get inside to eat their food. The other box was just a shelf with a roof over the top, made to provide food and shelter for big birds like Mr. Finch. Old Ben supplied plenty of food throughout the winter. The birds no longer fought about who had the biggest appetite.